While I was playing Deathbringer, I didn't have any access to documentation, and it is a fairly complicated Western-style RPG. And because I didn't have any documentation, I kept thinking I was missing something. I had to be overlooking some NPC that you needed to meet, or in my haste I was misreading some of the text. But no, I wasn't missing anything. Deathbringer is just a very dense, kind of confusing game. Deathbringer was originally Nihon Telenet's big push into 16-bit gaming, which at that point meant the PC 9801 and the Sharp X68000. From what I can tell, the 8-bit version on the PC Engine isn't that much different, though they changed the art style. They also gave it a subtitle, The Night of Darkness. That's K-N-I-G-H-T, not N-I-G-H-T. The first thing that you'll find when you start up Deathbringer is a warning that it will use all of the backup memory on the CD-ROM. So I hope you weren't playing anything. Then after a short introductory sequence complete with a battle, you're dropped off in town, and it's up to you to figure out what to do. If you ask around town, there's a kid whose brother is missing, and there's rumors of an elf living in the forest outside of town, and that's all you've got to go on. Deathbringer is a dungeon crawler, and outside of combat, you play from a first-person perspective. Whether you're wandering forests, caves, or towns, you have the first-person view where you can take steps in one big block. Pressing button 1 brings up your menu where you can check your stats, change your equipment, and do the things that you need to do, while button 2 will interact with anyone who's in that square. When you're talking to people, you have two options for conversation. You can chat with them, or you can say, "Hey, want to join my party?" For some reason, most people that you talk to don't want to join. Go figure. But when you ask the priest at this temple, he'll tell you that he already has a job, and then the second time you ask, he'll remember that he knows somebody who might want to join the party. And that's how you recruit your first mage. Something that you'll notice while you're walking around town is that when you identify a location, the screen blacks out for a moment. Besides the shops where you can purchase new equipment, and the temple where you can purchase healing or raise dead characters, the town contains your house, which is where you go to sleep and pass time until morning, plus save the game. Time passes as you walk around the world, and as night falls, it just gets harder to see. There aren't more monsters, they're not stronger, it's just harder to see. I thought there might be a torch or light spell that I could use, but it doesn't seem like that's available early on. The other thing you can find in town are trainers. Instead of a system where you get experience and level up, in Deathbringer you advance by getting experience and then spending that experience on skill points. It also costs gold to increase your skill, and the trainers are where you can buy new spells. The enemies that you find in the world stand in one place, and so you have to walk up to them and choose to fight them. Okay, sometimes they're invisible until you walk into that square, but it's still all event-driven rather than random encounters. Combat takes place on a tactical view, but you don't have any direct control. Instead, you choose if you're going to attack, defend, or run away. And then when your character's turn comes up in the order, if you chose to attack, then you pick someone out and run over to them. Hopefully you can reach them and hit them. The early game is very oddly balanced. You start out with 400 hit points, kill everyone in one hit, and even if they hit you, they don't do any damage. I was genuinely wondering if I had encountered a bug. But if you make your way through the orc cave and get to the first boss, then you have an actual fight on your hands. I noticed that the enemy AI is best described as god-awful. It's terrible at pathfinding, and the errors it has are systematic, which makes me think that there's a bug that down-prioritizes moving left. In crowded fights, you'll see enemies bounce back and forth to the top of the screen and back, even when there's an open space to your left where you could be attacked from. Win the battle and you'll get some experience and money, which you can use to get stronger, and so it goes. Let me go over the sentiments I found from Japanese players on Deathbringer. I played it for a little while, and then I threw it out. It cost 300 yen, and that's too much. The worst RPG on the PC Engine. So needless to say, this is not a popular game, though I did find that you can speedrun it in 36 minutes. As for myself, I don't know if I'd call it the worst RPG on the PC Engine, because this is only the 140th PC Engine game I've played. Let's leave room for something else being really bad toward the end. In fact, I'm not even sure I'd really call it that much of a stinker. I mean, it's obviously not a very good port of Deathbringer. The combat system isn't very good, and it feels like they set up the dungeons for maximum confusion. But in many ways, that's par for the course at this point. Maybe if I kept going, I'd wind up hating it like those players did. Well, there's just nothing compelling enough in Deathbringer to keep me going that long.